Epic shelves the infamous OP Infinity Blade, and Runescape ARPG may be on the way. All that and more, I'm Ethos, and this is Free to Play Weekly. First off in the news this week, Epic Games has pulled the controversial Infinity Blade from Fortnite Battle Royale less than a week after it was added and less than a day after it was announced it would be nerfed. In the meantime, it wreaked havoc in a $1 million tournament and provided plenty of material for angry YouTubers and Redditors. So I guess it was good for someone. So to recap, the Infinity Blade, like the Infinity Gauntlet that turned players into Thanos from the Avengers movie, was a mythic rare item. It granted its wielders increased speed, health, shields, and health regeneration on kills. But unlike the Infinity Gauntlet, it spawned only in one very specific location, turning that spot into a crazed deathmatch and rendering much of the rest of the game mute. The dev team also stated that it was re-evaluating its approach on mythic items. Now, while the Infinity Blade definitely wasn't the best of ideas, at least the company is admitting to the mistake and dealing with it right away. If there's one constant complaint about every single match-based PvP game out there, period, it's this: the matchmaking sucks. Now, whether this is true or not, developers are always trying to improve matchmaking, which can be a very complicated thing, and Wizards of the Coast is no exception. Last week's update for Magic the Gathering Arena made extensive changes to the ranking system in matchmaking. Matchmaking uses a variety of different criteria to figure out the best match for you, while the ranking system has monthly seasons with a variety of tiers and rewards for hitting certain milestones. This was very much needed in Magic Arena, being a player myself, and with the incentive of reward, I'm more driven to improve at the game and really see how I stack up against people instead of just guessing if I lost due to poor matchmaking or in fact skill. So yesterday evening, fans of both Heroes of the Storm and esports received some very surprising news regarding the game and its esports program. In an apparent shift in priorities, Blizzard will be moving developers from the MOBA to other projects, both current and unannounced it seems. Now it's important for me to note that the game will still receive support in the form of new heroes, events, and other content. Some things will definitely be changing, particularly in the area of its esports. In fact, the company has announced that Heroes Global Championship and Heroes of the Dorm events will not be returning in 2019. This news now has fans of other Blizzard titles worried, not just about what this means for esports programs, but what it might mean for the games themselves. It'll be interesting to see what other changes Blizzard might announce in the near future and get a better idea of where they plan to go as a company now. Last time we talked about the layoffs that happened at Daybreak, and now we have the announcement of a brand new game, Planetside Arena, a brand new Battle Royale game. Planetside Arena features 3 game modes: Massive Clash, a 250 vs 250 battle, and solo and team Battle Royale modes. New non-VR modes such as Capture the Flag and Deathmatch will be also added in the near future. Players will be able to choose from one of 3 classes: Assault, Engineer, or Medic, each with a jetpack, personal vehicle, and special abilities. You can upgrade weapons and abilities at various terminals throughout the world using in-game currency. Out of the game, you can also upgrade your weapon blueprints and progress through seasonal story arcs that take place several decades after the current Planetside 2 game and bridges the gaps between the past and present and future of Planetside. And that's quoting the developers. Now, the most relevant fact for this, however, is that Planetside Arena won't be free to play. 2 versions are currently up for sale on Steam: the Sanctuary Assault Edition for $19.99 and the Legendary Edition for $39.99. Each pre-order package grants you access to the closed beta and includes the Season 1 Battle Pass. The Sanctuary Edition also gives you the Assault class armor, while the Legendary Edition includes armor for all 3 classes, as well as the M20 Tempest Hoverbike pack. The game is scheduled to launch on January the 29th, 2019. Now, while this may not be relevant to MMO Bomb now, who's to say that based off of this news that it won't go free to play shortly after launching, which, let's be honest, the deck is definitely stacked against this game pretty badly as it stands. And finally, for something very interesting, Jagex, or more specifically one Jagex employee, is stoking the fandom fires with his LinkedIn profile. Nathan Richardson has a long list of credits, which includes stints at Ubisoft and Behavioral Interactive, but he's currently employed by Jagex, where he's apparently working as an executive producer on, and I quote, an unannounced RuneScape action role-playing game. Now, RuneScape is extraordinarily successful, but its spin-offs, most recently Chronicle RuneScape Legends, have generally not fared as well. So it's not surprising to see that the company is working on yet another game in the franchise, but considering the lack of a public announcement thus far, it seems unlikely that we'll hear anything solid about this game for some time. And that brings us to the question of the week. Based off of the news of a possible RuneScape ARPG, would you actually be interested in playing this said game? What type of game do you think it might be? Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. And that's it for this week's Free to Play Weekly. Don't forget to check out mmobomb.com for giveaways and the latest news. My name is Ethos, and I'll catch you guys next week.